This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You're always scum. Rebel scum.
Muted. I'm muted. Rebel scum. That's what happens when I look at emails while the thing's going on. I'm super professional. Episode 337. I'm Brock. This is
James.
James. Rebel Scum Podcast. Talking Star Wars.
Wars in the stars.
Boom.
Wars
James,
in the stars.
What's happening in Star Wars?
Nothing at all.
No.
Star Wars is dead, and we've moved right on. Okay, first we have to discuss this for the algorithm's sake. The Rey movie, Brock. The Rey movie is now it's being reported by leakers, like people who have had success in the leaking business, who have insider information and have been correct in the past, are saying the Rey movie is now on hold, possibly indefinite hold. They can't figure this out. I have a few things to say about this. One, stop announcing things. Just stop it. And two, how hard is it? I said this on Monday's live stream, I think, but how hard is it to come up with a movie with Rey in it? You can literally do anything you want in this movie because it's not leading to anything. You can make it about anything you want to make it about. Yet somehow they haven't had a script. They have an idea apparently that they pitched to Daisy Ridley, and she was like, "I like it," but they can't figure it out. Makes no sense to me, Brock. You
could literally make it a newer Hope. And instead of Luke, it's a female. It would be the exact same movie. It's like, it's so easy. It's right there. I don't know. It's like we're done the Skywalker saga, but we're not gonna leave the Skywalker saga. I'm like, what? Like, I mean, maybe Acolyte is a departure from the Skywalker saga, but it's just like there's nobody that wants to write a script. Like
they do. Nobody. They just can't figure it. Apparently they just can't do it. Like nobody can do it. Like I believe from what I hear, Damon Lindelof wrote a script, but it was 60-year-old Rey, which don't do that either, because then there's like 50 years of story that we're not getting, that we're all gonna be pissed off to find out how Rey got to where she's going. We did that with Luke. Let's not do it again. Luke was out of necessity. Now we have Daisy Ridley of age, user. But then apparently the Stephen Knight one, like nobody is agreeing on it or something's going on there. So I don't know. The whole thing is just is so weird. Yeah. So weird. I feel like they are slowly, because here's the thing, because I always hated them calling it the Skywalker saga. However, I did feel like it was a chunk of Star Wars. Like there's timelines of Star Wars, and that's whatever. That's where all roads lead there, and that leads out, which is whatever. But I feel like they concluded the Skywalker saga. If they can't figure out this Rey movie, if they don't have faith in the Rey movie doing well at the box office, they have Mando and Grogu, and I have this feeling that they're going to use Mando and Grogu as their episode 1, as their book 1. And they're going to go. So that takes place how many years after Jedi? A few years after Jedi. They're going to go, and the sequel trilogy is going to go, and they're never going to connect, and they're just going to go like that. And we're going to follow this new Star Wars story, whatever the hell they call it, the Din Djarin saga or whatever. And we're going to follow that so they can get away from not worrying about the Rey stuff and the Skywalker stuff. And then when enough time's passed, they can go back and be like, here's a continuation of that story. Yeah. Which, again, we're not going to get Daisy Ridley when she's of the perfect age.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, Why aren't they making movies? We're putting out Twisters and Beetlejuice 2. Like, there is a market for nostalgia. Now, granted, Star Wars, like Marvel, is like a little oversaturated, I guess.
But they
But
stopped making movies before they oversaturated the
yeah,
market.
exactly. I don't know. I don't know why they would stall on like just write scripts. And if you're like, this is a movie, make it a show. Like Star Wars people will watch it regardless of how volatile or toxic they are.
I think they screwed up with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was the first one where they kind of were afraid to make it a movie, so they made it a show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of Solo. But I think Obi-Wan's completely different because you have Ewan McGregor in the part. You have Hayden Christensen in the part. You have like known like the actors who are known for portraying those roles. Now Obi-Wan, obviously Alec Guinness, but Ewan McGregor has been is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Everyone accepted him as that. He has a lot of kids Obi-Wan Kenobi, who are now adults. Like that's the difference between like Solo. There wasn't a younger Harrison Ford. Like it wasn't. They went with a different actor completely.
Yeah.
And so if that, and I'm not saying he was bad or anything. I'm just saying if that's their viewpoint of it, like we can't go back. You have the original cast in there. I think Obi-Wan, and then they were like, no, it's got to be a show. It's got to be a show. And they made it a show, and it was way too reactionary on that. And that was when the snowball started to go down the hill, and they stopped making movies because Solo didn't do well. And then Rise of Skywalker still made over $1 billion. We forget, like it still made over $1 billion. It didn't make as much as the other guys, but it still made over $1 billion. And Mando and Grogu is going to be a massive hit because it's only going to cost them $100 and whatever million. So make the Rey movie for $100 million. Make it a grounded and gritty movie. Make it all puppets. And I don't. It just annoys the heck out of me.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems odd, but it's true. I was looking through. Looking for Holo News today, and there was a lot of like Rey, where the sequels can go wrong, or I'm just like, all this talk about Rey, and I'm just like, it is weird. It is weird that of all things, the internet has latched onto that because there's like Rey is like something that someone like random people that aren't into Star Wars will say is like, oh, I don't know about this Rey movie. I'm like, this movie is not even like remotely ready to be made. It's like, I wouldn't worry about it. But it is weird that it's just like, oh, Rey. I'm like, what?
It's funny how I said this before, I think last week, everyone loved Rey after Force Awakens. And then sometime between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, or maybe it was both of those movies combined, she's like the face of what everyone hates about Star Wars is now Rey, apparently. I know everyone calls it the Rey movie, but I don't know if it would be the Rey movie. I think there would be it would be a movie with Rey in it more than the Rey movie. But again, these are the same people who couldn't figure out how to put Luke Skywalker into Episode 7, so they shipped him away to an island. They were like, every time he's on screen, he takes away from everybody else. Why? I still don't understand why. How you just can't write a simple character like. We overvalue these characters, and that was bleeding into the writing. The writers have to separate themselves from the fandom to the in-universe, and we're not getting that.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like books and comics, and I guess the animation, they're very good at giving you ensemble casts, or not so much ensemble casts. I mean, there's like obviously the original Star Wars is an ensemble, but it's just like. At the core of it is like there's a chosen one. There's Anakin in the prequels. There's Luke in the originals, and then Luke in I guess Rey in the sequels, right? Sort of like this idea of the chosen one. So it's like when you think Star Wars, you're like you have to have somebody that's gonna save it all. But it's like in all the other things, like books specifically, they can give you like a group of like, for lack of a better choice, let's go Jedi. Like it's just like here's a whole bunch of Jedi. Not one of them is really higher above them. One of them, they might get more page time, if you call that in books, but like the characters are fleshed out and they're interesting. It's just like it seems like with the movies they don't know how to do that, right? Like in Mando, it's like, well, Mando he has to do all the saving. It's not all the other myriad of people around him. It's like I don't understand why. Yes, we want a main character. Like that's who we follow. That's who we relate to. Sure, but like, why does the next movie have to have a person obviously we're thinking it's Rey because it's just like it's like we're not sophisticated enough to be like, oh, that's the person, that's the good guy. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, and like Mando, I think will get a pass on that because it's called the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But then every other one that's come out has been called the person's name. And they need to stop that. They need to stop that. And it's like when it's about the Mandalorian, sure, you can get away with that. But then you have Boba Fett, and then you have Obi-Wan, and then you have Andor. But it's not like in those ones, really, it hasn't been just solely about those characters at all. I think Obi-Wan would have been probably better received had it been more about Obi-Wan just sitting alone on Tatooine by a fire. No, but like they need to get away from just worrying about a character and tell the story and then insert the character into the story is where it has to go. But there's this obsession, and it's funny that they're doing it when we just mentioned Solo failed. The one movie that was based on one person is the one that didn't do the box office profit and then make box office profit. Yet you keep going down that path. Star Wars isn't about one individual; it's about a group of them, like you said.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that always drives me nuts about the sequels and just the way Luke has been handled in general now is like when we watch Return of the Jedi, he's not like the rest of the rebels aren't like Luke is gonna go save the day. Like Luke is just another dude on Endor. Like he's with Han and Leia. I think they're more of the main characters to the like main generals to the rebellion than Luke is at that point. Nobody knows he goes up there to kill Vader. They're not like, oh, Luke's going up there. Like, it wasn't about singling Luke out. Like, Luke wasn't about singling himself out, and the rest of the characters never did it. But yet the movies are obsessed with singling out our heroes, and we love our heroes because they're just a part of the journey that we're on with everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know, but like none of this Rey news is like, this is not. I mean, I want them to make the movie, but it's just like until there's a trailer, there is no movie. Like because we've gone down this road where it's like nothing happens till you're sitting in the seat and it's before you. So I don't know, all this hearsay. I'm like, ugh.
Anyway, the Rey movie's dead. That's the Skeleton Crew. It was just announced earlier in the day that they're dropping 2 episodes on December 3rd. 2 episodes, which is great because I just got 3 months of Disney Plus for $1.99 with ads.
Oh, nice.
and that means it's going to expire on Christmas Day. I played my cards right. That means I got December 3rd, I get December 10th, I get December 17th, and then I get Christmas Eve. So that's 4. So I get to watch 5 of the 8 episodes? 5 of the 8 episodes right there for $2. And then I'll cancel and I'm going to steal your password and use your password. Remaining 3. I'm excited. 2 episodes. I like this drop, especially if it falls in line with Boba Fett and or Mandalorian, like where it is more of a binge watching show.
Yeah, why not? It's funny. It's like you do like to just, oh, I want to watch another episode. Let's go. But it's just like, it is for our podcast needs. It's like, oh, something each week to talk about. What fun.
Yeah. But also when you bring up the podcast, is we like to do the podcast after the episodes, and it'll be easier because you won't have work during the winter months. Hopefully, not always, but sometimes.
I won't have the Jays.
Yeah, but then there's like,
but
I mean, if the one drops on Christmas Eve, we're not doing a show on Christmas Eve.
No,
we might do a Christmas Day. I think we should do Christmas Day dinner, FaceTime each other during dinner, and do the show. Doing the show, but the problem with 2 episodes at once is if those episodes, if they're a half hour like they always have been, then it might be okay. But if they're an hour each, and that's 2 hours, and they don't start till 9, and we have to go on at 11, not going to happen because I will be like this. I will be, and you'll be like, James, what did you think of Jude Law? By the way, Jude Law's name is, I figured I know how to say it now. I have it memorized. It's Janana Wood.
Janana Wood.
Dun, 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 dun.
Janana Wood. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know where they come up with these names. What happened to Luke, Han, and Leia? Like, just simple names that I can pronounce.
Janana Wood and Neil.
And Neil. But it's Neil with 2 E's, not an EI.
Yet still understandable.
They speak basic. I'm looking forward to that show. I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be dope.
I think
And if
so
I'm
too.
wrong, whatever. Life
exactly.
goes on. Life goes on. We can always watch The Penguin on HBO, where they swear and there's a lot of blood.
I need to watch that show. I haven't watched it. I heard it was pretty good.
It's if you like gritty crime and Colin Farrell, you know. I watched it with Erin. Erin really liked it, but she's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's Colin Farrell." She's like, "Wow, oh my god, I forgot." I was like, "I know."
Yeah.
Like you forget it's him. Actually, right away you're like, "Yeah," because even his eyes, like usually you can tell by the eyes, but I swear his eyes still look. There's a couple times you're like, "Yeah," but most of the time I'm like, "You just don't look like Colin Farrell."
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't a Penguin show; it's a Star Wars show.
So what are we else?
That's how it starts. That's how it starts. Hey, Batman. All right, before we get to our main topic today, let's go into our blind rankings. Blind rankings today is going to be fallen Jedi that were killed during the Order of 66. I have never been to a food joint or anywhere where you buy stuff and you get a number. I've never gotten 66. Fantasia got it a couple months ago, and he sent me a picture. I'm like, "You son of a gun!" But I have never been lucky enough to get 60, or maybe I have been lucky enough not to get it. I don't know. But these are Jedi, Brock, who were slain during Order 66. All right. Here we. Oh, I got to erase last week's. We had Darth Maul as your man. People were not happy with your comment about Palpatine not being interesting. Or I don't remember what you said. But yeah, a lot of stuff. Someone commented like, how can you like Star Wars if you don't think Palpatine is the best? And I was like, geez, man.
This is a plot device. Sorry.
Hello. I think it's anyway. 5 Jedi who have fallen. Plo Koon.
I'm gonna put him at 3.
3. That's a safe bet. If you were Dave Filoni, which I always assumed you were, he would be number 1. So I guess I know for a fact that you are not David Filoni. Mace Windu on the list.
I'm gonna risk it and put him at number 1.
Because you don't like our next thing. Oh, Mace Window.
This window.
That wasn't even an autocorrect. That was just me writing window. And this is the true number 1. Kit Fisto.
Oof. I'm gonna put him at number 4. I'm like now realizing there's only so many names that this could possibly be.
It's funny because Kit Fisto's like I would probably jokingly put him number 1, but he's probably a solid 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Youngling that wants help from Anakin. Does that Youngling have a name? I'm not a big enough.
Probably.
Who Anakin?
Master Skywalker.
Name. He probably has a name. Unidentified Jedi Youngling.
Apparently not.
Oh, as Soars Bandim in Legends. Should I call him Soars Bandim? No, he's unidentified Youngling because I can't handle another Janana on the wood.
I'm gonna put.
Janana.
I'm gonna risk it and put Youngling number 5.
5. See, I would put him number 2 because I think honestly, if he lived, he probably could have saved the galaxy. That's and your number 2. If you actually know the answer to Kiadi Monday's birthday, you Kiadi Monday is number 2. Where is it? Here we go. So you have Mace Windu, Kiadi Monday, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, and Youngling. That's a pretty solid list.
Yeah, I think that works. I'm happy with that. I wasn't sure if you're gonna do Alias Secure or not, but I was like, it's probably Kiadi Monday. I'm like, what of the Wookiees?
You know what? I was gonna go with somebody else, and I thought because of all the kerfuffle over Kiadi Monday, I had to. Yeah. Chat. Let us know what you guys say in the chat and the comments if you're watching this on the repeat. Episode 337, main topic. Daniel RPK on his Patreon last night, Brock, suggested that Cal Kestis, what's his name? Cameron Monaghan, Cal Kestis, will be making his way into live action, something we've discussed in the past that it should happen. I don't know why it wouldn't happen, but apparently it's happening sooner than later, and the rumors are all swirling around Ahsoka season 2 to have our pal Cal Kestis appear in. And I was like, okay, this is fine. This is where I started to think of maybe they are branching away from the Skywalker saga, where the stuff with Emperor has to do with the Skywalkers, and the rest of the galaxy is worrying about whatever Thrawn's doing over here, or something bigger than Thrawn. Because the reason why I did is because now you have Ezra, Ahsoka, Cal Kestis. There's so many Jedi that could have participated in taking down Sheevy P the second time, you know? So where are they? So that's why I kind of thought of that. But I like the idea of bringing Cal Kestis in because you told us that you were going to make one solid continuity, and this kind of helps with that with big video games and TV shows now.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't believe it because it's just some dude. Who was this?
Daniel RPK. He's a big scooper. He's a big super. Yeah, he's got a lot of things accurate over the. Over his time.
I don't hate the idea. I feel like that's something they should just like keep under wraps and then just drop it. Here's a Star Wars movie. Oh, by the way, it's Cal Kestis. Or sorry, not you said TV show or TV show like yeah, even better because it's like you can show a trailer for the show and not reveal half of the cast very, very easily. So it's like that would just be a great like episode 4 or 5 drop. He just shows up and apparently he's there to help. He's like a crucial part of the plot. And you're like, oh
yeah, I hope because remember like leaks came out where we found out like Christopher Lloyd and things like that in Mando. I hope this is something that if it is true, that this is the only time we hear about it, and by the time we get to his episode, we forget about it. We just don't know what's happening. What was I watching? I was watching something the other day, and there was a cameo or something, and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't know, and I think it was leaked at some. What the heck was I watching? I don't watch a lot. I can't remember what it was, but it was something, and I was like, oh, they did that. That's right. And you didn't know about it because they kept it quiet for a long time. It's kind of like, well, Chris Evans and Deadpool and Wolverine is a big one where nobody knew that was. I think everybody kind of thought it was, like a lot of people thought it was happening because he was in Free Guy. Like there's a lot of things that would make you believe he was in it, but there was never any, there wasn't like the leaked photos where you got that. Like no one knew he was in it until it happened in the theater. And that would be awesome if they could pull that off with Cal Kestis or anyone else that they've got.
Oh, absolutely. It's smart. Like, why not? And then put out a new Cal Kestis Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order game that somehow ties into it. I don't know.
Well, there's one more coming. There's one more Cal Kestis video game, and then it's over. So, yeah, make it like if you want us to buy, like, because it's been. When did they announce that they were scrapping the EU? Was it right away or was it like a year later? It's been whatever, 12 years or so that they promised a connective thing. And it's kind of, everything's kind of connected. But I don't like when it's plot points, I don't really care. But I like when characters are coming in and out, I think, or weaving in and out. That's when I think it could be at its strongest. Like, give us the characters. And I don't think you have to, all you have to do to explain Cal Kestis is, oh, this is a Jedi who survived Order 66.
Yeah,
that's
easy.
it.
And like, with Ahsoka, it works as a like, she is like a disenfranchised Jedi that left the Order and then survived 66, and it's just like can't really get away from the Jedi Order, even though Cal Kestis. I don't know if you would describe him to be the same as that, but it's just like he's like a reluctant hero that just gets pulled back into it. So it's like I think it works with Ahsoka. It could work really, really well. Yeah, I'm all for it, especially since it's like, oh god, the character looks exactly like him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I love when they do that. Get Iden Versio back in here. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I guess that would be a good one. And Outlaws, they made them not look like the actors, which I thought was a weird choice. Like, because I think again, if you're going to say everything's connected, why not leave the door open for live action for these characters, for these actors to play them? Like, that's one thing. I'm really curious how the DCU is going to go with James Gunn and Safran, where they say everything's connected. And they're like, if you voice a cartoon character, you're going to play them in live action. And I'm really curious how that's going to work and play out. But I think it's smart. If you hire someone to voice something, have them also be the live action. Star Wars is a little bit of, it's tougher to do that because they did animated stuff before this new regime took over and made this and had this plan in place. But I don't know, just you have the actor who, again, just like Daisy Ridley, is of age right now, is of perfect age to play the character. So why wouldn't you utilize that if you can? And yeah, he's very. I think it's like you said, very easy to bring him in. Just Jedi kind of survived, doesn't know how to feel anymore.
Yeah.
And with it just I don't know. I don't know what the plot is of Ahsoka season 2, so maybe it doesn't make sense. That's it. That's why I can also argue against it, because I don't know what they're doing with it. And they shoot it next summer, though. Did you know, like July or June or something, they start shooting Ahsoka season 2 for a few months.
Oh, nice.
So
good. Get to work. Let's go.
Yeah, they still haven't announced it yet, which, and I'm actually appreciative of that, because until there's a trailer, I'm not going to believe it's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
What if Daisy Ridley shows up in Ahsoka season 2 and you're like, that doesn't make sense? Like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
We needed her back. Again, the only things I trust apparently now are Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau projects, because they're the only ones that happen.
They're like a guarantee. Like, remind me, Mandalorian Grogu is not is not Filoni's movie. It's Favreau's.
No, Favreau's directing it. Yeah, Favreau's directing it. Yeah.
So there's also a Filoni movie that hypothetically will come out. Gotcha.
Which adds to what I was saying about the parallel timeline, where it's the same timeline, same universe, but they're dealing with a different crisis, and the Filoni movie will deal because I think I mentioned this on Monday's live show, but when you watch Acolyte and you see the numbers that Acolyte had, and then you see the way people discuss the sequel trilogy in a negative light right now, I just wonder if Disney, like the higher ups, are worried about the money, about profit, if they go to a different time period that's not the OT time period, either before or after, because people don't seem to be warming up to those two time periods, even though I don't think it's the time period people are warming up to. I think it's the stories they've gotten in those time periods. Mm-hmm. But I think then that's why I'm like, they feel like their safety net is the original trilogy timeline.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried, even though I love Mando and I'm like, give me all that you can, I'm worried that we're just going to live in this time period forever. Yeah. And that's why I think if they have a parallel story, they can take that. They have 20 years to get to the sequel trilogy. So we know that the universe looks the same until the sequel trilogy. So they have a lot of runway to play with without changing that aesthetic. That is kind of like, that is the stereotypical Star Wars aesthetic, is what you get. It is the original trilogy, even though the prequels is different. I think when you think Star Wars, you think old, ruggedy, and lots of sand.
You gotta go to a sand planet.
Gotta be sand.
Gotta be sand.
No more Tatooine. I hate sand. Let's go watch Dune 2 4 times. All right.
Yeah. All cool things, but none of this seems like it's real. But it's a slow news month.
I'm just worried that they're never going to take a chance on going to a different time period. And it's like, man, you can. You can. That's not like it wasn't because Luke Skywalker wasn't in the Acolyte that people didn't watch the Acolyte. It's not, like Han Solo was in Solo and people didn't go watch Solo. So I don't think that's the problem. I think, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's my concern, is that we're stuck in this time period for a prolonged period of time when there's a lot of stories that could be. And again, like the Rey movie that they just can't figure out, you could do, and it can go anywhere. They're not stuck. Like, well, we have to end it with X. It's like you can do anything you want. And it's not. And the sequel trilogy, the handcuffing they did there was they're like, it's only going to be a trilogy. Now you don't have that problem. You can tell one really good story and then worry about the next one when it comes. But they just don't have fun. Nobody likes to have fun anymore.
It's just odd because it's just like you watch Star Wars.
Lego?
No. Oh, that I still have to watch that. No, what's the anime one?
Visions.
Visions. And it's just like, oh, this is engaging. These characters are interesting. I would love to know more, but you only get them for like 20 minutes tops. It's like, this is kind of interesting. Why don't we go into this? It's just like, it's proving a point that it's like, yeah, granted, the animes kind of like break the rules on certain things. but it's still something that looks like it exists in Star Wars. So it's like, so there are enough people that are capable of dreaming up a new version, or not a new version, just like something that could exist in what the hell in Star Wars. So it's just like, it's there, just go do it. And it's just like, and all you have to do is take a typical traditional storyline and just plaster Star Wars on top of it. What's like, it's not that hard, you know?
Nope. I completely agree. I mean, I went away for a while. My Chrome
Yeah.
shut down on me, so I'm going to pretend that I heard what you said. But I completely agree with every
Yeah.
point you've ever made
Perfect.
while I was gone.
Let's
But
go
again,
to-
I think what you're saying is Star Wars is going to make money.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is gonna
Right?
make money.
I know they like to think like, well, it only, but it's going to make money. I mean, Marvel's had a couple duds. They didn't shut down Marvel.
Nope.
I don't know. Yeah, I had to. I had a warning, and I was like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it." Google Chrome, and Google Chrome's like, "Screw your podcast," because Google Chrome is a big fan of Ray and Finn and Poe.
Yeah, absolutely. They're pro Finn. Should we go to the odds?
Yeah, that's what I was. I had to re-upload the video. When you get kicked out, the videos you bring in, they don't stay. So I had to get it. So that's why I was stalling with saying that I knew your answer was great. All right, here we go. Never talk about the odds.
The possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to you, me, and everyone by patreon.com/RoboScum podcast. If you like what we do and you want to support us, go on down to patreon.com/RebelScum podcast and support us any way you can. We greatly appreciate it because we just want to continue talking about Star Wars ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum. And these are the people that love to hear us say the same things week in, week out. Heidi Federer, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Dale Erdman, Phil Staniforth, Rez, Scott D,
Josh Price, Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girls 02, Gleek Play 1, Den of Nerds, Disney, Desi, Charlotte Rumpsek, and Jeff Wilson.
Nice. Thank you to all.
Thank you, everybody, for all of your support. Really, really appreciate it. Sorry, I just lost it again. All right. Never tell me the odds. Our first odd brought to us by Patreon. The Ray movie will never be made.
I'm just going to go full Brock because no one has a clue.
I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go 61%. I'm not saying in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But how we go for like a lifetime without Ray appearing in a movie will forever blow my mind. To this day, I like, if you sat down 20 writers, I'll bet you 15 of them can come up with a screenplay right now for a Ray movie.
Yeah.
Might not be good, but they'll come up with it. By the way, I just got the warning again, Brock. I might be gone in a second.
Great.
Next on, Sigourney Weaver will play a politician in Mando and Grogu. Will Sigourney Weaver play a politician in Mando and Grogu?
I like this. This is a good idea. It's surprising she hasn't been, but yeah, I'm gonna go 45%.
I'm going to go 37. I think she's going to be a badass. That's what I think. I think she's going to be like a bounty hunter, maybe she's like.
Oh, you're saying the character will be not a specific character.
Well, she'll be like a politician. Yeah, she's in the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. We haven't talked about it. So yes, Catherine. We will see in our final odd today. We will see a Disney Plus show about the Knights of Ren.
My instinct is to say, "Oh, that would be great," but just like it feels like it's way too late for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm watch
100%
it,
with you. Yeah,
but it's just sort of like you had your opportunity and you didn't take it. I'm gonna go 25%.
I almost feel like if The Force Awakens came out, if Disney Plus came out, let's say Disney buys Lucasfilm in 2012, and 2013 Disney Plus is launched,
and then Force Awakens. I think we get one after Force Awakens, like before Last Jedi, somewhere in there. I think we get one. But I'm with you. I think too much time has passed, and I think because of the way they weren't utilized in those movies at all, I think nobody would care. I don't think anybody would care. And although you say that, but then they throw in Kylo Ren's theme in the Acolyte, and all anybody talks about after the episode was that Kylo Ren's theme. So who knows? Maybe there's some intrigue there, but I think that ship has sailed. If there was ever a ship to begin with, I'm going to go 11%.
Nice.
Yeah, I would like to see, I would like to see something with them. I would like them to flesh these movies out more. And if they are going in a different direction, they won't be doing that, right? They're going to focus on the new stuff. So I would like them to flesh out those sequel trilogy movies that explain things a little bit more and go into it in TV or movies, but they won't do. I think we're going to be stuck with books and comics for answers to things that are posed in motion pictures, which I don't necessarily agree with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Make some stuff. Let's go.
We will go see the movie, guys. We will go and pay money to see the movie. All right, Hollow News.
Hollow News.
Hollow News. Da 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 da. Hollow News. Da 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 da. Album 199 on iTunes. My mic's muted.
Hollow News. The news you need to know right now. Apparently, someone has a Star Wars name that kind of prevented them from going on vacation. Loki Skywalker Mowbray, 7 years old, was denied a passport by the UK Home Office because it considered his to be a copyright infringement of the Star Wars franchise, reports the New Zealand Herald. The UK Home Office told the family to either remove the name Skywalker or get permission from Disney, which owns the Star Wars copyright. As a result, the family had to cancel their planned holiday to the Dominican Republic. Several days after news outlet approached the Home Office for comment, the Mowbrays received an email stating a passport would be issued for their son, though it had to be delayed. Bobby Moynihan, the Saturday Night Live cast member who plays the role of Bobarian Afol in Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, says he hopes to bring that character to life in live action someday. The character, affectionately called Jedi Bob, is a co-lead in the new special and the kind of Jedi that you'd expect a comic like Monahan to play. Not exactly the same kind of very serious person who usually serves as a lightsaber-wielding master. His quote says, "I enjoy Star Wars acting. I really want to do live-action Star Wars. I really want to play some sort of alien creature where you can't see my face, a slug or something. My dream is live-action Orca. Me in a live-action Orca costume shrunk down. That's my dream." Hey, sounds great. That sounds almost like Avatar, though. And our final story, Season 3 Echoes of the Rebellion has arrived in online hero shooter Star Wars Hunters, adding a Rebel Alliance theme with the new Battle Pass, including a new Hoth battle map and a new Ewok character. The new character is Pillbush, an Ewok Grenadier. I never know how to pronounce it. She's mounted atop a modified AT-ST, cheekily renamed AT-ET, all-terrain Ewok transport. The damage class Ewok wields a grenade launcher and can leap and stomp with her vehicle. Her ultimate fires an explosive cluster bomb in a large area. Like every new seasonal character, Pillbush is initially locked behind the premium tier of the seasonal battle pass, which is about $10. Season 3 is all about the Rebel Alliance with new skins reflecting various Rebel uniforms. Pillbush even has a fabulous skin that transforms the top of the AT-ET into a mini X-Wing. Players can also begin unlocking emotes in addition to the stickers. Each hunter will come with one new default emote. And this has been your Hollow News. I think you're muted.
And I think today is Mark Hamill's birthday.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday to Luke Skywalker.
If it's true, I don't know. Mark Hamill. Let's look at. I should have done this while you were reading the news, but I didn't. Mark Hamill, September 25th. He is 73 years young today.
Wow. Happy birthday.
He's been married since 1978. Isn't that like wild? That Like that's a Hollywood marriage. That doesn't exist
Yeah.
anymore. You can't.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't think it ever existed. Actually, that's crazy. Top five Star Wars non-live action characters from the Disney era. Oh no, Disney era. Uh-oh. Just top 5 non-live action characters from Star
Yeah.
Wars. Because my number 5 is Hondo.
Yeah,
And,
so is mine. Yeah, of course.
I'm talking like Rebels Hondo, not yeah, Hondo till you're number 4. We both have the same number 5.
Well, yeah, I guess you can't even say Hondo from Galaxy's Edge because that's someone in a costume. But yeah, no, number 5, Hondo %.
Is this someone in a costume? I thought it was an animatronic.
I think it's an animatronic, but like when you're walking up, it's animatronic. But like, I believe you can see him at the beginning of the ride, like on the screen. So I think somewhat. I could be wrong. I can't remember. Even though I been on the ride 4 times, you think I would know, but yeah, you hear him throughout the game or the ride.
You're not bragging. You're not bragging. Just
4 times. 4 times.
4 times. Disney Desi is going to join the live chat and be like, I was just on it 4 times an hour ago.
Yeah, congratulations.
My number 4, Kanan. Number 4, Kanan.
Nice.
Kanan Jarrus. He's a Disney era.
Yeah. Number 4, I'm gonna put from that same world. I'm gonna put gosh, what's his name? Screw it, Harrison Dula. Harrison Dula, number 5.
Well, that's a good one. I didn't do hair on mine. I got Crosshair number 3. Crosshair. I like Rogue, the ones that go bad. Crosshair.
Oh yeah, the Bad Batch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
My number 3 is gonna be Iden Versio. I think that character was super interesting. So let's go.
Good call. Cal Kestis is my number 2. Because I got to put him on the list while I can, Brock. Got to be on my list while. He's got to be on my list while I can. My number 1 might not count. I'm just thinking about that now, but I'm going to make him count. Go on, Brock.
My number 2 is also Cal Kestis because, like, why not?
My number 1 was Rex.
Oh,
but we see live action Rex in Ahsoka for like a second. So I'll go Iden Versio as well. Why not? Suck it, nerds. Iden Versio number 1 because Rex was in live action and I got rejected.
And from Battlefront 2, the story mode, I'm going to put my number 1 as Shriv. I think he was an interesting character. That's what his name was.
I'm going to change my number 1. Second sister. The second sister.
Oh, second sister.
Fallen Order. Yeah, second sister. That's my number 1 is second sister. I forgot about this. Remember when they looked awesome? Remember when Inquisitors looked awesome?
Yeah.
Then I don't know what happened. That second sister, Brock. Thank you.
Yeah, all the Inquisitors are like you could just make 5 Inquisitors, and it's like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Look how they handled that through just having the Inquisitor first one in Rebels, and then adding through the seasons, and then adding more characters to comics, and then taking those comic characters and putting them in video games, and now slowly bringing them into shows and animation, a newer animation. It's just like it works. You can create a whole new batch of characters, and it does it's right there. So it's like, I don't understand. One day we'll understand why these Star Wars movies take forever to make.
I think there's too many decision makers on board. I know everybody likes to blame Kathleen Kennedy, but I think she reports to a board, and I think it's eggshells over there and what they can do and what they can't do. And I think are we going to make people happy? We're going to make people happy? Yeah, if you make the stuff, you probably will. So I don't know. I think it might also, we all from the outside looking in, we're like, we'll just make a Star Wars. But it might be hard to find filmmakers who know how to make Star Wars and want to make Star Wars. I think there's fans of Star Wars who, like I said earlier, like then you might be too close to the material to like appreciate how characters should be, because you see them as the way you see them instead of as they are. And so it might be, it might be harder than we think it is, or it might be really easy and they just can't do it because they're inept.
Yeah, you might be right.
On that note, we should wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I'm not right too often, so I got to end on a high on this one.
Good night, everybody.
Go Jays, go! I hope they go 19 innings tonight, Brock.
Ugh. They can't even win, or they can't even lose properly. I was like, I'm gonna be home at a decent time. Wrong. 1 in the morning.
Daryl was not happy yesterday. I will tell you.
He
that.
can relax, okay? He's home in 30 minutes. If I miss a train, I sit in the Union for an hour.
Yeah. Oh well, he was not. He was none too happy with the way things went. All right. Let's wrap it up. Anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
No. Star Wars.
And that, everybody, let us know what your top 5 are in the comments down below and in the chat. Never tell me the others. Let us know. Also, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel Scum.
Bags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the